Hello and welcome to Rainbow Stars channel, and today I'm giving a 23-week update on my pregnancy. Just kind of making it for my online journal when just trying to keep up with everything. So I got an update for you guys. Yesterday I went to go see the doctor. We did more testing. My cervix is fine, so that's good. And they suspect that it will be fine throughout the pregnancy, so it's fantastic. I am super exhausted. It takes a lot out of you growing a human, so it makes sense. I don't get much sleep at night. Whenever I do get sleep, I get woken up like maybe 3-4 times a night, trips to the bathroom and back and all that jazz. So not exactly easy, but worth it. And but yeah, so we looked at him. He is now a pound. So he's 1 pound and he's 1 pound and 8 ounces. So that's really cool. He's almost 2 pounds right now, which is interesting. And we got pictures of his spine. His spine looks good. We got pictures of his heart. Heart looks good. So everything's looking very promising. I'm just hoping that everything continues to go well until delivery date. So they're still keeping a close eye on me, as one does. But we did get new pictures, and this one's really cool. I can't wait to show you guys this. Hopefully you guys can see this. Alright, let's see here. Okay. So we got this new picture up here. Trying to see it through the camera so that I can get a good shot here. Okay. Now you see he has a little nose, mouth, hand, eyes. That's like a 3D picture. And I thought that was so cool. It looks like he's going to have my nose, which is neat. This one's of his little foot. And we got his little face here. He's gotten so much bigger. And in this photo, he's actually sucking his finger. If I can get a good shot of this. Ah, yes. Okay, that's his hand right here. So he's sucking his little thumb. It's so cute. Anyway, hopefully you guys can make out what was what I was pointing to, but if not, that's okay. My leg's doing a lot better. I've been doing physical therapy at home. My nose itches. So I've been doing physical therapy at home, and you know, basically doing exercises here because I've been unable to get in touch with an orthopedist, and nobody's made any effort to call me to make an appointment to get physical therapy, so I've been doing it at home. I'm just, you know, I'm used to doing physical therapy. I've done physical therapy on multiple different areas of my body. So just looking up the exercises and how-to videos online, I'm able to kind of just feel my way through it instead of just waiting around for months and months and months and not progressing and getting worse. So I know that physical therapy, the sooner you get on it after the tendon or ligament injury, the faster the recovery. So I'm actually walking without crutches now, which is fantastic. I do still have a weird wobble to my walk, but I imagine that's just gonna be how it is. My leg tries to give out on me every now and again because the left side's weak from the injury. So I just got to rebuild that muscle and use it and just deal with the pain. So we're doing that. I actually got to see baby girl for the first time in forever. I basically went over to the house, dropped off a few things, and Devin, surprisingly, wasn't scared of me. I thought for sure she'd be scared of me, or that she wouldn't remember me in any capacity, that she'd be very uncomfortable around a stranger. So at first I was just kind of keeping my distance, letting her come to me, you know, and just getting the privilege of being able to see how big she got. She's doing amazing, guys. Like, she's a 2-year-old. She's tall. She's a little curious child, and she likes to point at things and ask what they are, and it's adorable. And, so she's doing very well with her family, and so she's doing great. I'm glad to see that. She's picked up a lot more vocabulary words, so that's good. She's still kind of figuring out how to say things, which is fine. Every child develops at their own rate. So I remember when I was young, I had trouble talking myself. I have ADHD, and it was very hard for me to focus. And my mom told me that I was actually behind in my speech. So maybe that's something that's going on with her. Maybe she just developed slower. I don't know. But either way, she's catching up, which is great. So that's a positive. And she actually gave me a hug. I was not expecting that. I didn't expect she would hug me, so she did. And before I left, she actually gave me another hug and then asked me to lift her up. She just held up her arms and said, "Up." And I was like, oh my Lord, you do remember me. To some capacity, instinctually, she must have remembered me. And then she pointed at my mom and said, "Mima," and I was like, oh dear. A little confusion. But she did live with me and my mother for the first year of her life, so I could see where she could get a little bit confused. But at least she knows who Mama is, and right now that's the lady who's had her and raised her up this past year. So I'm glad that she, is finally in a family setting and has siblings and 2 parents, and, that's great. So she's doing so well, and couldn't have asked for a better outcome, really. Other than her coming home here, but that was my wish. That was not what was best, if that makes any sense. It is better for her to stay in the environment that she's been in for this past year and stay with the family that she's now incorporated in, and that way she's not uprooted, because children who are uprooted too many times tend to suffer a lot of trauma, and they get jostled around too much. It's just not a good thing. So what was best for the whole situation was leave her where she is, and I will always stand by that I believe that's what's best for her, is to be part of that family unit and her family. They are biological relatives, so it's not like she's with strangers, you know what I mean? So she's doing so good. So that's an update on her. And I am 292 pounds. I am a whale. I am so heavy. Oh my God. The heaviest I've ever weighed was 314, and I lost 50 pounds, and I was down to 260 something, and after I got pregnant, bam, it all goes back up to hell. So I'm just gonna have to work with it and wait until after I give birth, and then lose the weight all over again from scratch, rejoin my program, and start over. That's a little frustrating, but that's okay. What you gonna do? You can't really, you just gonna have to deal with it. But in the meantime, I have been depressed, anxious, just over different things. It's mostly hormones, I think, that and the injury, and then I keep getting re-hurt and re-injured, and my back hurts so bad. I have an injury back there that never healed, so because I'm up throughout the day, I can only be up for a certain amount of time before I'm like, okay, ow, this hurts too bad. And then my hips start to feel like there are, like daggers or knives, like digging in them. And it just gets so uncomfortable that I'm like, no, you know what? I have to go lay down. And because I'm not as active, that's also adding to the weight gain issue. Women who are pregnant will gain weight anyway, but if they're unable to be mobile, then they're more likely to gain a little more than normal. So I gotta get more mobile if I can, and it's gonna be hard. But I'm up for the challenge. So that's an update on that. But yeah, I'm just feeling through this whole first time pregnancy thing and hoping for the best. And so far, it's all been positive. So I'm very thankful that so far, the only thing that's been affected by my condition is my body and not my baby. So that's actually very positive. That, you know, maybe it's a strand that's hypermobility, and if that's the case, then maybe it doesn't affect my internal organs. Maybe it only affects my joints, which would be very good if that was the case. Like, certainly it can still affect the soft tissue in your ears and eyes and all that jazz, but so far my disorder hasn't progressed too far on that spectrum there. So you know, so like, you know, the uterus is fine. That's good. So as long as everything else, because like I've already had trouble with my, it's TMI, I can't go into that, but like I already had trouble with my bowels and, you know, ligaments and joints and tearing muscles. And so I've been through it time and time again. But yeah, so far the baby's doing great, and that's fantastic, and I can't wait to meet him. Yeah, I want to buy him a baby swing. I want to get him a baby swing so bad. My mom's like, why? They're expensive. He won't be able to use it for that long. It's the perfect place for the baby to take a nap. If my mom's watching him, or if my sister has to watch him, they can move the swing from room to room. It's portable. It would be the best thing. And you know, for like napping and all that jazz, like it's better than nothing. In fact, it's like probably the best place for him to nap other than bassinet, which would be in my room. So let's just throw a hypothetical. Hypothetically, if I'm up all throughout the night, every 2 hours to feed the baby, you know, the new one, you know, Elion, if I have to feed my son throughout the night, I'm not going to be able to get any sleep. So if he's a night eater, and which he will be in the beginning, because all babies are, then I will only get the option to sleep throughout the day, but he'll be awake at some point during the day. And if he's awake, and if I'm trying to sleep, then what has to happen is that he needs stimulation. Because immediately when they're young, you want to talk to them, you want to give them interaction. So I think that after a few days of bonding with him and just having him to myself and being sleep deprived and tired, on the third day I would let my family help me during the day so that I can get adequate rest, because if I don't get good rest, I'm not going to be a good milk producer. So I got to kind of think about that too. I got to think about me as well as him. So that's going to be you know, and it's hard to do on your own. So having that support system that, you know, somebody could take him when he's awake, enjoy him as I'm sleeping, maybe even give him a bottle if need be. I'm going to be pumping as well, so I'm going to do like a little half and half, so that if I'm out of it, that he can still get breast milk, but via a bottle. So I'm kind of going to do like a half and half on that. Because I don't have a partner that's going to wake up in the middle of the night with me or stay awake in the morning with me. So it's going to be super hard. So that's why I'm going to probably do it that way, just for optimal situation there. I can't think. My brain's dead. They call it pregnancy brain. You forget what you're saying, and then you forget what you're doing. One time, I put my phone in the fridge. Yeah, that's pregnancy brain. So, but yeah, so that's probably what's going to happen, is that I'll buy him a baby swing. He'll have a place to nap out there if he needs to. And then if, you know, if they need me awake, they can wake me up after an 8-hour nap spell, you know. But yeah, like it's super hard in the beginning when they're first born, because sometimes you know, they'll be awake and you'll be wanting to sleep. But they still need interaction. You can't just leave them awake in a bassinet and have them be bored. Like, they need mental stimulation immediately. So otherwise, you know, I mean, that's what I did for Devin. I was like sitting there with her, and I would basically be sleep deprived and very, very tired. And I remember that there were a few times in the morning that I had to hand her off so that I could make a bottle, so that it was safer, and I'd be like super tired. And then I'd bring her back with me, and we'd hang out, and we'd talk, and we'd play. And then finally she'd get tired, so she'd take a nap. I'd take a nap with her. But then when she'd wake up, it would be earlier than what I would need. So I would still need some sleep. And I was like, oh Lord, okay, time for you to go see, go see my mom. Because, you know, there has to be a fine balance there. You can't push yourself too hard and make yourself so sleep deprived that you'll get frustrated or upset or any of that. So to avoid any of that nonsense, you know, having a good support system. I had a good support system with Devin. I'm certain that I'm going to have a great support system with this child. So it does take more than one. Yeah, because most ladies who do it completely 100% all by themselves, they are troopers, but they would also be very sleep deprived, very frustrated. They might even cry because at some point you're going to get so exhausted that you're going to need help, and you're going to have to reach out to somebody. So I just know better. I know to ask for help if I need it. So I'm just glad that help is here if I need it. So yeah, the baby swing will be the perfect place for him to nap if, you know, he wants a nap out there. So, and then the dog can't get him because he's actually moving. So the dog won't be able to lick his face to death. So yeah, she's a licker, that one. Olivia is such a sweetheart. Every little baby is her puppy. So yeah. But yeah, I just hope that I'm gonna do a good job. I know I did one before. I'm certain I'll do a good job with Elion. It's just first time biological child jitters is what this is. I'm not looking forward to giving birth. I'm really not. Reason being is because I want my mother and my sister both to be there. And from what I understand, because of this whole COVID thing, it's not going to happen. So, most likely I have to choose one person. But as a first-time mom, first time going in blind, because they don't have any classes right now for first-time mothers, like no birthing classes are open other than online, which for me, a classroom setting is easier, like, because it's hard for me to focus, right? So I have to experience it. I have to like be there. I have to do it. I have to hear about it. I have to actually be at the setting to learn. If it's online, I'm going to be bored. I'm not going to pay attention. It's just that much more difficult for me. So there is that. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where I'm just like, no, that's just not cool. So I'm going in a blind. The whole breastfeeding thing, going in that blind. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out. So, same thing with the hospital. I'm going to be blind at the hospital because they're not doing any hospital tours. So I have no idea what the room's going to be like, if they're going to allow someone to spend the night with me and the baby, to help me out during that first initial night in recovery. I don't know how it's going to go. I know they're probably going to want to keep me overnight because I have a high risk of hemorrhaging after birth, within a 24-hour period. So we'll have to see though, because that might change too. They might just send me home because they're too worried about the illness spreading. I am so done with this virus. I am so done. Like, like at this point, I'm so fed up with it getting in the way of everything that's going on here that I'm just done. Like, and people are complaining, oh, there are some people who don't want to wear masks or whatever. I don't blame them. It's hot. The mask makes you hot. You know, if, you know, you just, it's just not pleasant is what it is. So, like, people want to complain about that, and I'm just like, you know, they call those people Karens or whatever, but there are some people out there with asthma or claustrophobia or another type of illness that wearing the mask could make them feel, or even anxiety-ridden people, wearing the mask might make them panicky, make them feel closed off, you know? So I can understand where some people are coming from with that. Personally, I just think it's a pain in the butt because you need them to go certain places, and if you don't have them, then you're kind of SOL on it, and they send you away, and it's just it's bothersome. It's a bothersome thing. It's like it's just not. Yeah, it's just not preferable. Part of me wants to give birth at home, but I'm too much of a risk to do that. Like, I'd probably end up, you know, dying. So it's not an option for me. I have to go to the hospital when it is time. But at the same time, I don't want to go because I want both my family members there, and I can't imagine doing it without one. You know, without both of them there. So, but yeah, I got news for them. I just, I'm not excited about that. I'm kind of freaking out. But I think that's normal first-time mom jitters. You know, like, giving birth is a process even in itself. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. And I just hope that I have a good experience with it and not a terrifying one. So I'll just have to try and stay calm and just try to do the best I can, because you got to do what you got to do. And yeah, but I'm just done with the virus thing. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to worry about it. I'm not worried about it. I know it's a big deal. I know it's all over the news. I understand a lot of people are, you know, having complications and dying from this. I understand it's a big thing. But so was influenza, and so was the Black Plague, and so was smallpox, and so was, I mean, okay, so, like, it's just one of those things where I don't want this to interfere with my life anymore. You know, a lot of people are healthy, as well as unhealthy, and, you know, people unfortunately pass away every single day from multiple different things. Car accidents, boating accidents, drownings, plane crashes. I mean, come on. There are so many things out here that are also killing people. But, you know, but this is the major thing right now, and it feels like they hype it up so much that they want people to panic about it. I mean, it feels like they want panic because they are just harping on this for months and months and months and months and months and months. And I'm just sitting here going, can we talk about something else? I mean, nobody wants to hear the death toll every 5 minutes. Okay? If we want to hear about the death toll, we can look it up online. There is actually a death counter on YouTube about the whole virus thing. So, if people wanted to look it up, they could. So it's kind of, I'm just fed up. I just want to live my life and not have to hear this preaching about this constant event that I'm just not right at this moment emotionally or mentally, you know, okay with hearing about it. Like, I understand being educated is one thing, and listening to the government is another, and actually taking precautions is great, and I'm glad people are taking precautions, but, like, if it's, you know, actually affecting my life, which it is, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, can we just be done? Can we just be done? Like, I just, you know, they keep going, there's a spike in cases, and I'm like, there probably is. You'll reopen the country. What do you expect? People are gonna get sick. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm so done. because, like, my mom tells me about it even if I don't watch the news, so I'm always getting an earful about this thing. And she's like, oh, you probably have to gonna homeschool your kid. And I'm like, I'm not gonna homeschool my kid. Hell no. I don't want to homeschool my kid. He needs interaction with other people. Otherwise, he's gonna be a social shut-in. And I don't want that. I want him to be a social butterfly. I want him to be able to experience the world and not keep him so tight-knit. Besides which, if you hold on too tightly to your children, they tend to resent you later. You gotta let them grow and experience things. So, yeah. Pregnancy is going well. I'm, doing the best I can. The whole virus thing, can't stand it. And we're just gonna have to keep, moving along the best we can. And, yeah, so that's my update. And, I don't know if everybody else has the same feelings as I do on the whole virus thing, but at this point, I'm just done with it. I understand it's bad, and it is a serious matter. But I just can't right now with it. I really can't, I just can't with it. So we'll just have to see how it all goes and hope that, the hype or whatever goes down a little bit so that we can actually breathe and keep living our lives to some capacity. And yep, just take precautions. Do what you gotta do, but don't obsess about it. I'm trying not to. Alright, everybody. Remember, when you view, peace, love, unity, and respect. And be sure to leave a comment down below if you have any advice for me, whether it's throughout the pregnancy or whatever else. Yeah, let's see if we can keep up the positive vibes. Alright, everyone. Talk to you later.